This is a Stokke Xplory chassis, and today we're going to be replacing the folding trigger here with a new part. And the process for this is going to be the same from the V4 and newer. If you are repairing a V3 or an older Stokke Xplory, then there are some slight variations in the process. We might get around to making a video on the V3 as well. Leave us a comment if you need one. But in any case, this is for V4 or newer, and it's a relatively complex process. Okay, first step in this process is to remove the entire back frame. That's actually accomplished very easily, just with one screw here. It is two-headed in a way. There's a screw and there's a head for the cap on the other side. And you're gonna need two screwdriver bits that are hexagonal, the CRV4, or you're gonna need a couple of umbraco keys for putting together furniture and stuff of that size. All right, so you're going to then unscrew it from both sides at the same time. Cap is going to come off. There we go. Then I'm going to pop up that folding trigger, click off that safety panel, and that's all it actually takes to remove the rear frame. Now this stage is important. Don't forget this part, but you're going to need to put this bolt back in for the rest of the process. It's holding things in place inside. Okay, the next thing we're going to need to do is to remove the entire central shaft and handle assembly. And we're going to do that by unscrewing these two screws here. And then if your folding trigger is more complete still than mine, you're going to want to flip up that little white safety catch while you are pulling this part up. Mine is completely broken off, so it's not really a problem. Okay, now you're going to want to pull up then on that handle height or length of that central shaft, the adjustment trigger for that, and then pull the entire bit out as such. Okay, we're now going to need to unscrew these 8 bolts here, and you're going to again need CRV4 head. The thing is though, you can't just use the smaller screwdriver head because the base of your screwdriver is inevitably too thick. So you're going to have something longer, or you're going to have those umbraco knuckles, umbraco keys. And we're just going to unscrew all 8 of those. Okay, once you've unscrewed all 8, you can now slide out the entire shaft like this, the entire central shaft with the arm. Okay, we're then going to remove the old trigger. I'm going to take our new trigger, and you're going to want to take off this little like catch element of the trigger and the spring as well while you're doing this portion of the assembly. And then we're going to want to slide it back in like this. Then we're going to take our lower portion, the front frame. I'm going to carefully slide this in again. And then, okay, there's this metal assembly here, and if you'll see, it's notched in the middle, and that needs to hook right on the end of this trigger bit. So we're just going to pull that trigger so that it's just hooking onto that little metal piece, and then you're just going to pull it slightly up, and then slide it in again. And you can pull on this a bit just to check that you got it. Should feel spring loaded. And then we're just going to slide it all back together. And then rescrew our 8 screws. Okay, now it's finally time to insert this extra trigger. Just put your spring on that little pokey portion of this little white trigger. Slide it in. Then we're going to take our handle, put it back in place. You're again just going to want to pull up on the like handle shaft height release thing as you're pushing this into place. Just put it in a bit, doesn't have to go all the way down, you're going to need a little bit of space. Flip the entire chassis upside down again. We're going to lift up on that little white trigger as we slot that top cover back down into place. Switch your screwdriver head back to the CRV T20 head. Insert the screws. And just screw that cover in nice and tight. And then we're going to replace the back frame. So pop that bolt back out. Slot this down. Put that bolt back through. Pull it up. Should kind of automatically lock into place. And we're going to need those CRV4 heads. Pop the cap side on. Just do it nice and tight. Go. All right, now you just want to test it so that everything functions as it should. Okay, then you just want to check the mechanisms that you have affected. So you want to check that your main arm height mechanism is still working properly, and you of course want to check this mechanism that it locks down, unlocks, and again locks upright. Provided everything's working, then voila, you're done. You've replaced the folding trigger on a Stokke Xplory chassis. We hope this video has been useful to you, and if it has been, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. Thank you.